Okay, so today's video is fairly simple to do, but I figured it'd be worth making a video on. Basically, as you can tell by the title, I am installing a tow hook, or like a tie down place. It's not really meant for towing, but more for tying stuff down. A tow hook on the BRZ. And it's a fairly simple install, but there is a couple little details that people should pay attention to. Okay, to get right into it, there are 3 places on the BRZ that you can place a tow hook or a tie down. This is one of them. This is in the front bumper right here. That's where I'll be putting mine. I'll show you guys how to remove that in a minute. And then in the back, there are actually 2 places. One right here above this exhaust tip, and then one right here above this exhaust tip. These both are areas where you could put a tie down point. Now, the BRZ actually comes with a tow hook that is under the liner of the trunk, along with the tire changing stuff and whatnot. But it doesn't look that good, and it's mainly, again, just for function. The one I bought is going to be more for aesthetic, or just ricing out the BRZ a little bit. But I think it could work, but I don't know exactly the build quality of this would allow it to work properly. So real quick, this is the tow hook that I bought. It came in 2 pieces. It came in the actual area where it attaches to the car, and then the hook part which attaches to this. That nut actually allows you to adjust the angle at which this loop attaches to this. And that's important, and I'll show you guys why in a minute. To actually install this, you actually don't need many tools. All you need is a flathead screwdriver, and a fairly big one too. I think a small one would work as well, but the bigger the better in this case. So to install it, I'm at my front bumper again, and I'm at the tie down point, or the area where you would screw in the tow hook, and I actually have to remove this, and that is what the screwdriver is for. If you notice on here, there's a little slot in which I'm just going to put the screwdriver in and pry carefully that out. Now, it's gonna pry this side out, and then carefully you have to kind of shift it. The next point that's going to come out is this right here, and then it'll be finally that top point right there. And then once it's open, there is a little string in which you have to be careful in getting out. If you just look at it, I'll see if I can film it. It looks like that. You just gotta angle that out without breaking that, especially if you ever want to put this back in. It is kind of a good safety measure that it has. Now that that piece is out, put that aside somewhere where you're not gonna lose it. I'm just gonna put it in my glove compartment, so if I ever need to put this back on, it'll be there. I will probably not actually be running this tow hook all the time. I'll probably put it in for more shows, and then the other times I'll just leave it in my car if I ever actually have to tie down my car to a trailer or something. Okay, so now that you've gotten that piece out, all you have to do is screw this in to the screw point right there. Okay, so this is it screwed all the way in. However, this is not the angle that I want it at. Instead, what I'm gonna do is use this nut. So I'm gonna loosen this to about the angle that I want, and then push it a little more that way. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loosen this nut till it stops right there, and that's gonna be finger tight. Then what I'm gonna do is just turn it to tighten down that nut all the way to the angle that you want. That way it is fully tight, and it's not gonna come loose, which is exactly what you don't want. So this is a solid point now. If I want, I could loosen these Allen key areas right here to allow this to turn more, or to allow it to turn less. So that way it wouldn't be just moving back and forth while I'm driving. I can tighten this down a little bit. Or if I need to adjust the tow point, if it needs to be straight out, or if it needs to be at a slight angle, all you gotta do is adjust that right there. So the process is basically the same for the back 2 points as well. All you gotta do is take a screwdriver, pry it at the correct pry point, and then from there what you can do is just install the tow hook in the same manner. Now again, this is called a tow hook, but it's not really meant for hooking it up to tow your car with. It's more meant for tying it down on a trailer, hence towing it on a trailer. That's what it's meant for. Do not tow your car from this, because that could cause damage, especially to the tow hook. The tow hook is not meant to withstand the weight of just the full car being pulled by another vehicle. Instead, it's meant to just hold it down on a trailer by a tie down, or a similar, like a chain holding it down, rather than the full weight of the car. So I went ahead and pulled the BRZ back inside the garage so I could kind of show you what the tow hook looked like in a more controlled lighting environment. I guess the lighting outside was not the greatest for the front bumper. You can probably see that in some of the footage, but I thought I would go ahead and show you what the tow hook looks like attached. So I think it looks pretty good, especially with the red on the blue. kind of matches the brake calipers as well as some of the interior. It does look like it protrudes out a little too far, but instead is actually right in line with the bumper, which makes sense for a tie-down point. If you look at it from this side, it does look like it comes out a lot further. However, from afar, it actually looks really good whenever you see it at like a meet, or if you see it driving, I think it looks pretty good. I've seen them on other BRZs before, and so I kind of like it. Now, is it going to be used as its intended purpose? Probably not too much, but I have it if I want it. And I think it adds a little bit of aesthetic to the car, or rice, whatever you want to call it. I just think it looks cool, so that's the reason why I bought it. Now I also want to update you guys on what else is going on the channel, because there's a lot of stuff planned, and with this, both the BRZ and the CB350. So I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys up to date. Right here is another video coming up soon. It is a front lip for the BRZ, and so that will be installed soon enough, as soon as I can find the time to do that. That's just gonna go right here. So a little bit of front end work on the BRZ coming up. The CB350 has a lot of stuff that's coming for it, including an engine gasket set that will be hooked up soon enough. So that will help me reassemble all this and get the engine finally ready to go. Now, along with that, I also got a new seat that is more of a brat style seat. It's kind of humped upward rather than just the flat one instead. Along with that, I actually got a couple new brackets to fix that bracket. So if you notice, these are just that's the bracket that someone else installed. Not exactly the best bracket. This one actually came with some brackets that I can install that seat with. So that'll be good. What's good about these seats is they're actually made by the same company. So if I ever wanted to switch them out, it's just a few nuts on the bottom of the seat, so I can just have a different seat if I want to have a passenger or ride single with this. This one would allow more for a passenger, while this one, it's obviously humped up in the back, kind of eliminating that second seat, but I think it improves the look a lot. Along with getting the bike running, I've been working tirelessly trying to figure out how to clean out the carburetors. The inside of the carburetors were just terrible. They looked like this. They were just really dirty. This is one of the floats from one of the carburetors. The whole carburetor looked like that. Now, one or two were okay, but most of them looked like that on the inside, which, if you know anything about anything with engines, especially carbureted ones, that's not what they're supposed to look like. So I'm working on fixing that. I also got some electronics in. I got some switches, which are cool. These are some cool switches. I've got two like push button switches along with a momentary on the other side. So I'm planning out how to do that. I've been working with Austin, my friend, who is helping me with the wiring harness. The gas tank, I've actually marked every single dent on the gas tank which needs to be pulled out, and I have a new dent puller kit which I'm going to be using to get those dents out. So that's a whole nother video right there. Along with that, I got clip-on handlebars that I went ahead and just put on, and I'll make a video kind of detailing how I did that. And then also, I'm working on the gas tank some more with a new gasket right here. There's just a lot of stuff that is coming for the CB350, and I didn't even name all of it. The BRZ as well, there's a lot of stuff coming. There's just so many videos that I have ready to make. It's just a matter of actually making them, because it takes time, and I haven't had the time recently. So if you've been following either one of these builds, I appreciate you so much for subscribing, and if you're not subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe, because there's a lot of stuff coming. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like down below, and again, subscribe. It really helps me out. And leave a comment on what you want to see me work on more, the BRZ or the CB350. Which one do you guys want to see come together first? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye.